Hey guys, so today we're doing this flower. So if you're new to the series, I'm just trying to close the book so you can see the page. I'm learning to watercolour from this book here, Learn to Watercolour, 20 step-by-step beginner-friendly lessons on watercolour paper. And it comes with the paper pre-drawn. You just tear it out, tape it down and paint it. And each one has a lesson to go with it. So this is what we're doing. I'm not new to painting, but I am new to painting watercolour. I've done acrylic and I've done oil over the years, but I'm still learning how to use watercolour, which is a very different technique. So I'm just kind of doing the series of you guys watching me learn, see how I improve, and hopefully you guys can give me some hints and tips on how to make things better. So we will see how it goes. So today is I think this flower is called a black-eyed Susan because she talks about black-eyed Susans in the blurb for it. But I don't know for sure. I'm not very good. So the colours we're supposed to be using is burnt sienna, which I've gone with this colour. This one here. This one. I've gone with this one for burnt sienna. It looks roughly right. None of these have labels. Permanent deep yellow, so I've actually just gone with that yellow. It's very bright, but I'm a little short on yellows. Parisian blue, we've gone with that blue here. Sap green is mostly this colour with a touch of that colour, and I think that gave me roughly the right colour. And then I've done this one for yellow ochre. So I'm hoping they get me roughly in the right place. I'm going to use this paints up, and then from then onwards I'm only going to use paint tins that have the names of the colours on, which I do have, but I will get this one used up first. So that's what we're going with. So the first step, we are not pre-wetting the paper. This is all done by water control on the paints today. So she says about mixing yellow ochre to about 50% saturation. Yellow ochre was this one we're doing here. And we are to paint the petals in, basically. Once we put the yellow ochre on, we have a small amount of permanent yellow deep in the middle of the petal and anything out. And apparently it won't notice much when we put it there, but once it dries, apparently it will give a pop. So we will see. So this one, which is this one here, and we're just popping them on. Forgot to look what brush she used. Yeah, same sort of size, so this one. She does say to use either a size 3 quill brush or a size 12 round brush. These have no names and no sizes on them, so I don't know. We're just going with one that looks roughly right on the image, If it works, and that's all that matters. So yeah, the colour's not quite as yellow, but I think hopefully when it dries with that yellow bit that she wants us to do, the yellow drop, that was on. So yeah, so we want it to be about gloss stage, so we want more paint and water on. I guess that helps the yellow spread when we put that on, because she specifically says what stage we want that on. And then we're supposed to just take a drop of this yellow in the middle. I don't know if I got enough there. Just kind of drop it in the middle, and it's supposed to flow out. Do we just drop one drop? It says just a concentrated amount, so let's put some more on. I don't know. She just says put a concentrated amount, 1 drop. I'm just gonna add more, and we'll see if it dry if I put too much. I'll know. Well, never mind. You know, as I said, don't quite know how this works. It's hard to see in the images because she says it doesn't really notice until it's dry, but we'll see what it says. So after that, we've got to place a little burnt sienna at the tip of the brush and dot it where the petal meets the centre. So the burnt sienna was this one. So a little on that, and we're supposed to just pop it up here. Like that. Don't know if we should have had a bit more colour there for it to not be a harsh line. Tiny bit of this, just to help spread it around, because we don't want a harsh line, right? Okay, so I think I get the gist of what we're doing with the petals. So we've got to do all the petals first. So now we get that, we can just move on. So it's drying out, so let's just spray a bit more on. Ah, caught a bit of the green there. Let's clean my brush. Must have spread out or something. I didn't catch that. But I caught it in the colour change there. So we'll just work this side now, because we don't want that green to work into the thing and change colour. Trying to make sure we've got enough order so that it gets to the gloss stage. I think I'm just going to start with the small one here, and then we can work around from that. So got to obviously work fast. I don't think we're really going to need much of the yellow on that one. That's probably way too much. Let's brush a little, pick some of that off. Just put a little bit more of the thing there, and then it's a tiny drop of that just where it meets, just there. There we go. Alright, let's I don't know what the trick is to using these and not getting everywhere. Maybe I'm just too heavy-handed. And as much as I love these brushes, I think I am going to have to use some better quality brushes. Either fun and might be good for larger areas, but they don't keep their point very well. And so I'm struggling to keep within the lines and that sort of thing. I'll leave it yellow. And then drop of this here. I've had a sneak peek at what we've got coming up on these lessons, and I am genuinely terrified. The lessons get what to me looks to be very much more complicated. Very fast. And I'm highly terrified about what I gotta do. Even next week's one, which I will show you at the end of this, has me worried. But some of the further weeks on has me very, very worried. They're gorgeous, but I'm not sure I'm ready for doing it yet. Considering this is a complete beginner's watercolour thing, I think she has very high hopes for our abilities. So we will see how that goes. I'm not sure how it's going to go, and I'm very, very nervous. I've gone out of the lines there a bit, but it doesn't really matter, does it? I know with watercolour, a lot of people. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. That's just a delivery at the door. Hopefully you didn't catch it, but if you did, sorry. I'm going to assume that was my birthday present arriving. So Duncan gets to torture me for an entire week. Because a week before my birthday. Which should tell you when I'm recording this for those who actually know when my birthday is. I think we are coming along quite nicely. Yeah, at the moment it's not quite as yellow as hers, but I think it's not too bad. And for someone like me who doesn't actually know much about the flower, I'm not going to be really bothered if it's not the exact colour it should be for the flower. As long as it looks pretty, that's all that matters, you know? And that's the thing, it's about just loosely interpreting. Art doesn't have to be perfect. You can do whatever you deem suitable for you. So it doesn't matter if the colours are slightly off, if you go slightly out of line and all that. As long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. And I'm enjoying it, so as long as I'm enjoying it, I don't care, you know? This isn't coming out too bad if I don't say so myself. Do say so myself, my god. It's only like 10:20 on a Friday. I should not be this incoherent. But I am very tired. I had my steampunk meet-up last night at the pub. I don't drink. We just go there. Barely any of us drink. We just go to the pub because it's a nice place to meet up. And we weren't out late. We left by like 9:30. But I'm still shattered. I'm too old for all this. Yeah, my clubbing days are over. My late night partying days are well over. I am way too old. I know there's plenty of people my age going out and about, but I am not well enough for that. I'm more of a stay indoors and play board games type girl. So, let's see if that quite got the spread. There's just no. I don't know if you can hear my chair squeaking. It's very squeaky today. This is my new chair. I got rid of my old chair that's squeaky, but this one seems to be squeaky as well today. I think it's the way I'm sitting on it. The angle got adjusted recently. I don't know how. I must have knocked it. And I think I need to put it back so that I stop stretching on it. Because I'm short, so reaching the ground is hard work. So this mic's got some noise cancelling stuff on it. Let's put that on and see if that helps block out my chair squeaks. I don't know if it does, but we can try. I think I've got it on the highest setting there. Yeah, that's off. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, that's the highest noise cancelling system it has. Hopefully that will at least reduce the chair noise if it doesn't take it away too much. Not too much, not enough. Thank you again for everyone who's been watching and commenting and messaging me about this series. It really does help me feel better that there are people out there who are enjoying watching me learn my progress and not just watch someone who knows what they're doing do beautiful art, but just to share what we're doing. But I think we need more of that. We need more people just sharing their process, their learning process. It don't have to be perfect, because with the advent of AI art, it's quite nice to share that you don't have to be an artist to do art. I mean, I'm of the opinion that if you do art, you're an artist, but you don't have to be a highly trained, amazingly talented person. You just have to enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, that's all that matters. And I enjoy it, so I don't care if I'm not perfect. As I say, practice makes progress. And progress is what I'm doing. I'm learning and hopefully improving as I go. We will see. I've kept all of the artwork for the minute, so that at the end, when I do the last one, I can show you all the ones I've done, and we can see if we think I've improved or not. Kind of hoping I have, but we will see. Just want to spread that a little more. There. Okay. I just adjust myself in this chair because even I'm annoyed with the squeaking. Right, okay, so we've done them. So it looks like we've got to make it dry and then just wet the tip of the centre cone. Paint burnt sienna across the bottom of the cone, allowing the water and the colour to bleed together. Okay, so we're going to make up there wet, paint it here, and let it blend in. So I guess that kind of pulls it up and things, which would be quite cool. And then we've got to wait for it to get the satin or deep damp stage of wetness and dip the very tip of our brush in some of the blue and using up and down strokes, place some blue around there to give it some shadowing. Okay, so I think I'm going to use a different brush to make that wet tip. And I'm going to just spray my water, you can't see it off camera, onto the brush to make the brush wet, because my water bowl is quite mixed in colour right now. So right, so I've made the tip of that wet, and then what's the burnt sienna, wasn't it? Yes, so this one, which was this one here, get a bit more colour in that. And then we're popping that on there. We need to, I think it's buckling again, because apparently I still can't make it. Is it going to spread up? Yeah, on spread up. It's slowly spreading, but I think I'm just going to encourage it with this brush. Because we don't want a harsh line, we want it to spread nicely. There we go. Right, so we're going to make it dry. So let me just grab my heat things. First time we've had to make it dry so far. So, loud noise, people. There we go. Didn't take much because I want a lot wet. Okay. Put that back there. So it was, yeah, blue with tiny little strokes. So I'm going to use the blue here. We don't want it too wet. I'm using the smaller brush that's still got a point on because we want strokes upwards, she says. My strokes may be a little thick because she's got quite a few strokes and mine are just blending into the thing, so I'm just gonna do a few less higher up to show that it's straight. There we go. What do you think? Close enough. Okay, so after we've done that, a little worried that that's not dark enough on the sienna compared to hers. Hers seems to. Oh, hang on. No, I can see the difference between the wet and the dry. Hers is much more like that once it's dry. Okay, so then we're taking the green that we've mixed up, which she says to use sap green, but obviously I've just kind of mixed that, and then paint the stem and the leaves, which get to the satin or gloss stage, and then fill our brush with the blue, and drop in right at the top of the stem the petals for a little shading. So I think we're gonna use the smaller brush that's still got a point on it for now, because I think I'll get better control with this here. So I think this colour's not too bad, considering it's one I've just kind of mixed up to try to get approximately correct. Stop at the ribbon knot there, and then go underneath the ribbon knot there. A little more. So we'll see as it dries, it will get a bit lighter. I am wondering if I should have added the blue shadow before I started on the leaf, because we need it still dry, so I think before I put the blue shadows on, I will go slightly over the stem just to make sure it's still wet enough. That makes sense. Got worried the mic had turned off then, but it's still going. We're good. It's on the colour changing mode and it was on the darker colour, so I couldn't see it. Still amazes me how a simple thing of changing whether it's the wall paint that's wet or the paper that's wet can change how the paint interact with each other. It's so fascinating because with acrylic and oil it's a very different interaction. I mean, obviously oil takes a very long time to dry, so wet on wet's really easy, and acrylic dries much faster, so you need a medium to help do the wet on wet techniques. Whereas with watercolour, you can do whatever you fancy at any point by just adjusting how much water we have in it and how much control we have over it. Right, so I think I'm gonna just get a little more moisture in the areas that we're gonna do some shading in, just so that when we add that blue it kind of spreads down, if you know what I mean, because we don't want harsh line in the blue, we want it to kind of bleed in, you know. Let's try that. Okay. So we're not putting too much on, we're just and that looks quite harsh, but it should taper out and become more green as you go. I'm just gonna add some more water and more green to kind of encourage that to blend out more. Don't want harsh lines because obviously it's a shadow, and those shadows can have harsher lines depending on the scenario. For this, we're not looking for too harsher lines, except maybe there. We just want it to kind of fade into itself a little, if that makes sense. There. Encourage that one to spread a little more. What do you think? How's that looking? Right, so what does she have us do next? We are... So we're going to let it dry or make it dry. So we'll dry that in a second. And then we're going to do the ribbon with the blue. And we want to create some shadow in the overlapping bits. So that's basically the blue. Oh, let's make it dry before I do the ribbon, because we don't want it to blend into there, do we? There we go, we made it dry. So it didn't quite spread as nice as I would have liked there, but it's not terrible, whereas here definitely spread a little more how I would prefer. So that's nice. Oh, I've got bad colour on my brush there. So I'm going to create a new section for the blue. We'll do it over here. Do it here. Got some orange into that blue, which we don't want. Right. I hope that point stays because we've got some thin bits, so I'm going to do those bits first. just in case my point doesn't want to behave, which is entirely me and my heavy-handedness. These are cheap brushes, yes, but it's also entirely me. A good workman never blames their tools. A really good artist can do absolutely amazing paintings simply with children's art kits. So it is not the tools, it is me and my heavy-handedness. But I will get there. Just have to keep retraining my hands and re-straightening them after their annoying moments of weakness. And that's part of what all of this is for. It's me retraining my hands and trying to re-strengthen them. And hopefully get my brain back to the way it used to be. Right. I want to do a little more concentration of the blue. Yeah. Just to give some shadow. And while it's nice and wet, it will spread nicely. Just a touch of it along the edge there, because that's obviously got a fold. And a touch of it there, where there's a fold. Right. Just going to absorb just a bit of the colour there. And there. That's spread out a little. Might be able to lift that slightly. Let's have a go, see if we can scrub it off. Won't be perfect, but it might fade down into not much if we're lucky. If not, I can scrub it off because I got it on my hands. That's about normal for me. So I guess we just leave these bits like this. She doesn't say anything about painting them, but they look more coloured in her image, but there's nothing about painting them. Yeah. Don't think I missed anything. There's nothing showing about painting them. Let me have a look, reread. No, there's nothing about painting these, but I think what I'm going to do is maybe do just a touch. Let's use the thinner brush again. Just a touch of the grey. With a touch of blue. Yeah, quite like that. Let's just have a little more of it there. Just to give this something, It should have made that dry first. Never mind, too late now. Just to give a hint of something instead of just leaving it untouched. To me it feels a little unfinished if I've not done anything to these bits. And I know it means they're going to get a little thicker because I am still a little heavy-handed for these thin lines, which is probably why she doesn't have us do them, but I just think giving him a little colour will help finish things off, What do you guys think? Would you have left them, or would you have done the same as me and actually just done a little bit in them? There's not much. Try not to smudge that. Should have done this side first. But just a little something. And then just kind of do some wiggly thin lines here to kind of imply some flowers of some kind. I don't know what, but just a little something. The thing is, because I'm doing it light, the pencil markings will still show through. So it'll still give some kind of hint of whatever's supposed to be there, I suppose. Remember when I did my GCSE art? I did silk painting and I individually painted every single leaf on this tree, on this cushion cover I was making. And my tutor's like, you can just do abstract. It doesn't have to be every single individual leaf. But nope, because I was an idiot, I decided I was going to paint every single tiny little leaf individually. It took me so long to do, but it looked good after. I was really happy with it. Right, so let's make this dry. Not that there's much left to get dry, but there we go. That's basically dry. So what do we think? Did I match it? So this is what I was going for. And this is what we got. So I don't think it's terrible. I think it's not too bad. Still you can just see the pops of yellow that she was on about that come through. So quite happy with that. I like it. I think it's not too bad. So next week I'm gonna move this out of the way because I don't want to get anyway. Next week we are supposedly doing this well. I'm a little nervous about that, to be fair. But I'm gonna find let's see. 1, 2, 3. In 4 weeks' time, I'm supposed to be able to do that. In only 4 weeks, that's 4 more lessons. I'm not sure I am going to be up to that. I look forward to seeing my attempt, but I'm not sure my skill level is up to that yet. But maybe it will be in 4 weeks because her lessons do grow on each lesson each week on what we've done and how it works. So maybe I will. Who knows? Ignore the extra markings. I've got to get better at not getting all over my hands. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next week for that whale. Looks like we might be learning a splattering technique or something looking at that. So that's going to be interesting. I already know how to splash. It's all over the place. But no, I've not splattered in watercolour. It's very different than doing it with acrylic. So I'm interested to see how that goes. So I will see you all soon anyway. You all take care. Bye.